sure to check out Ageless Geeks for your figures and collectibles. So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Daredevil19 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Mezco Toyz 112 Collective Cyclops. So let's get into it right away and take a quick look at the box. So we do get the basic type of box when it comes to Mezco's regular releases. So on the front of the slipcover here, on the top does say Cyclops. We do get the X symbol on the center. On the bottom says 112 Collective Post Plate Display and Marvel. And then here's the bottom of the actual box. We do get the warning and blah 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 stuff nobody cares about. Then here's the top of the box. And then the one side of the slipcover, we do get the X symbol, same thing on the other side. Then the back here of the slipcover, we do get a bunch of promo shots along with everything included with the figure. Then you can remove the slipcover here, and then we do get the window displaying the figure and all the accessories. Then the sides of the actual box here says 112 Collective, and in the back we do get the giant Mezco Toyz logo. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get this figure. I want to take a closer look at my least favorite character from X-Men. Alrighty, taking a closer detailed look, and I think Mezco did a dope job with Cyclops here, aka Scott Summers, and I think the cloth clothing also turned out really nice here. Now the head sculpt, I don't really like the look of the skin tone they used. Kind of has a weird look to it. We've gotten figures like that from them in the past with that weird type of flesh tone that they give them. But I mean, the sculpt of it turned out really nice, very clean paintwork where the part of the mask and the hair meets the skin tone there, and the visor looks dope as hell. We get the red translucent plastic, of course. And then the hair sculpt turned out fantastic. I love the way the hair sculpt turned out. That's extremely realistic to me. Very nice. And even on the back of the mask, we get like a couple of sculpted lines on there that continue to the neck. But I like all the different shades of paint and the hair sculpt as well. The sculpt of it looks awesome though. And then the neck looks alright. This is where we have the light up feature, so you get some really hindered neck articulation with Cyclops here, which we'll go over that next with the light up feature. I mean, we'll go over the articulation a little later. The cloth clothing I think turned out fantastic. I know a lot of people complained about it because it doesn't have the exact classic look, but this is what Mezco does. They take the design of the character and they put their own little add-ons to it, or their own little twist onto it. So they just added on to his classic costume here. Like his harness type piece looks awesome, man. I love the way that looks. The belt, the strap going over the chest, over the back looks great. Same with this piece that goes across the shoulder there. And I like the black paint, I believe, that they added in there. And like these sculpted lines and stuff, that looks so cool. Really nice job on that. And the X symbol looks dope. Same with the X symbol on the belt buckle there. And then we get a bunch of pouches on there as well. And the cloth clothing, I dig the design of it. It's not just an all blue suit. There's those lines all throughout it, and we get like a different type of cloth over the cloth on the blue, which looks pretty cool, man. I dig the way that looks. Then you can see the stitching running down the back and the butt crack there. Then we get more stitching running along the side of the torso and the arm, of course. And I like the way the design looks on the arms as well. I think that looks pretty cool. And then we do get these pieces around the wrist that looks similar to the belt and harness piece. And then for the legs here, we get like a similar design to the rest of the suit, of course. You can see the stitching continuing down the outside of the legs and the inside as well, but I do like these pieces going around the thighs. Those look pretty cool to match the harness type piece there. And his cloth clothing is more of like a elastic type cloth clothing, so that definitely works with Mezco figures. And the boots here turned out really nice too. There really isn't any type of shading on the figure like on the pouches or the boots or anything, but I don't really think it's needed. But definitely would have looked nice on the boots there. But I like the two different colors. Yellow on the boots. I think that looks pretty cool. And then we do get those, I believe they're brown lines. Sorry, I thought they were black lines, but they're brown. We do get some sculpted wrinkles around the ankles and stuff, which look pretty cool. And then for the feet themselves, on the bottom we get some sculpted treads, which look dope, and some peg holes. But overall, I think Mezco did a kick-ass job with this Scott Summers. And I know a lot of people weren't happy with the way he looks, but it's like their own little take on the character, like I said, which is what they always do with their figures, and they really couldn't have done any better of a job when it comes to the cloth clothing and the detail on this figure. But anyway, let's continue on. So now for the light up feature, Mezco does include some instructions on how to turn it on and swap the batteries. It's pretty simple to do. It might look kind of complicated, but it really isn't. I'll show you quickly. So all you do is just unpeg the head there. You have to twist it counterclockwise, and once you hear it click, you can pull up, and say you already have the batteries in. This is the on and off switch, so on and off, and the way you swap the batteries, you have to take this piece off and then you put the batteries in. So we'll turn this on, put it in on the angle, there you go, and then turn it clockwise until you hear the click, and then put the head on, and then there you go, we have the light up feature on. And it's a pretty bright light. I don't think you could pick up on it right now because of all the lights, so let me turn these off and we'll just have natural sunlight going on, and you can see it is a pretty bright light. But when you have this one on, it kind of lights up his whole face. I don't know if you could tell, but it kind of lights up his whole face. I don't know if it's supposed to or not, but I mean, it looks pretty good, and it is a bright light. So that's with the regular visor, and then you have the smoking visor here, which is pretty much the same thing. It's just smoking. It doesn't really go on the like smoking piece. And then we have the regular optic blast here, and it kind of shines through a little bit, not too much. And then we have the crazy optic blast, which really doesn't shine through too much either. It just shines through a little bit of it, as you can see right there. But it's always definitely cool to have a light up feature. Not complaining. I think Mezco did a dope job with it, and the light is definitely decent enough. Maybe it's not perfect with the optic blasts, but it's definitely good with the regular visor here. And when you want to turn it off, you have to pop the head off here, do the same thing as I just showed you, click it off, put that back on, and then just pop the head back on, and then there you go. That's how you use the light up feature. But anyway, let's continue on. Moving on to the accessories, Cyclops is included with a bunch of really dope, perfect Cyclops type accessories. What we do get first and foremost, we do get the Mezco bag in case you like to store your accessories in there, and then we do get the Mezco stand. So we do have a giant X logo right there with the peg in case you want to peg the figure on it, or you could take the bottom part of the arm, unpeg it, and then peg this in and make the stand there. And these definitely are the most durable stands ever created by humans. So we do get that, and then we do get his cool 90s jacket. And we do get Cyclops' 90s styles jacket here, which looks pretty nice. I think they did a good job with it. The zipper is functional, so you can use it. There is no bendy wire in it at all, which kind of sucks, but I mean, it's really not that big of a deal, so what are you going to do? And I like how on the ends, it's that elastic type material, like how jackets were back then. And it's pretty basic and easy to get the jacket on the figure. And the stitching and everything looks really nice on it. It's a pretty good jacket. Not my favorite, but it's definitely decent, you know what I mean? So to get the jacket on, we do a little something like this. I might just edit this out and just show you what he looks like wearing it. And this is what Cyclops looks like with his jacket on, and it looks pretty good. Oh yeah, even on the bottom it has that elastic type material, just like the wrists as well. And you probably can get it to zipper, but it's gonna be really tight because of the harness type. Whoops. Damn you, Cyclops, because of the harness type piece. But you can zip it up. Just know you might risk ripping something. But I mean, the detail, like the stitching and everything, the craftsmanship on the jacket is really nice looking. It's just a very thin material, so just be careful with yours. So we do get Cyclops' cool 90s styles jacket. And then we get two interchangeable head sculpts. And starting on the left there, we do get the basic stern face, which is the one that does come on the figure out of the packaging. And they did do a fantastic job with that one. I just don't like the way the skin tone looks on that head sculpt there. And then on the right, we get my favorite out of the two, which is the yelling, screaming face. And my God, Mezco did an unbelievable job with the detail on that one, especially with each tooth there. That looks awesome. The wrinkles on his forehead right above the visor and everything. Really great job on that head sculpt right there. And then the hair is kind of blowing back a little bit, maybe from like the optic blast's force or something like that. So Excellent detail throughout that head sculpt right there. Definitely my favorite out of the two. And they did a great job on both head sculpts. They do have a very Cyclops type look to them as well, and they're very easy to swap out. I'll show you how to do that right now quickly. And swapping the heads is very basic when it comes to Mezco. So all you do is pull up on the one head sculpt, pops right off the joint there, take the other head sculpt, push down, and then there you go. As simple as that. So we do get the two interchangeable head sculpts. And then we also get a bunch of different visors and a couple optic blast visors. So we do get 3 of the regular basic visor for Cyclops here, and they did a great job on all of them. There is a red translucent plastic on the visor right there, and the sculpt of it turned out pretty good too. So we do get 3 of those, then we do get another one that's just like it, but we do have his optic blast energy kind of like smoking right there, and it's a very nice red translucent plastic with some nice sculpt detail to it as well. So really cool that we got 2 of these actually. So we get 3 of the regular ones and then 2 of the smoking optic blast ones there. Then we do get this one here with the regular optic blast shooting out there, and I love the way the sculpt looks right where it meets the visor, and it gets it's not as dark as a red going through this piece right here, which I wish it was as red as it was here, but I mean it looks dope, man. So we do get this one, and then we do get the crazy Kamehameha optic blast here for Cyclops, and this thing looks beautiful, man. The Mezco did a sick job with this one here. The sculpt on this just looks fantastic, especially all around here, even around here as well, and where it meets the visor. Really cool looking optic blast here, and you can see it as red translucent plastic, and it does make him a little tad bit heavy forward, but it's not as bad as you would think it is. And I'm going to show you how to swap all these and what they look like on Cyclops right now. Alright, since we saw what the regular visor and the smoking one looks like, I'll show you what the optic blast ones look like, and they're very easy to swap out. So when you want to swap them, you just pull on it and it pulls right out, and then all the visors, you can see the notch for his nose, so you know that goes on the bottom because the top part does not have it. So for the regular optic blast, you just push it in right there, and then there you go. As simple as that to swap them. But that one looks dope on Cyclops. I'm probably going to have them displayed with that one. So we do get that one, and that's what that one looks like. And then we take the crazy Kamehameha type optic blast, just peg that one in, and then there you go. And as you can see, it does make them a little heavy forward, so you're going to have to balance him out a little bit, and then there you go. He does stand up fine pretty much. You have to lean him back just a tiny bit, but this one looks so damn sick, man. What a cool optic blast for Cyclops. But as you can see, they are very easy to swap out. So we do get the visors and the optic blasts, and then we finally get 6 alternate hands. Then starting on the top right here, we do get a pair of fists, of course, which do come on the figure out of the packaging. Then we do get a pair of open hands where the fingers are clenched a bit, and then we do get a right karate chippity chop chop hand. Then we do get a left hand where he's hitting the side of his visor so he could shoot the optic blast, or you can use them as pointing finger hands as well. And they did a very nice job with the paint and sculpt detail on all 6 hands, and I really dig the X symbol on top of all the hands right there. I think that was a cool little added touch that Mezco put on the hands, and they are very easy to swap out as well, which is always a good thing. But anyway, that's all the accessories included with Scott Summers. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review, shall we? Now, for the height of the leader of the X-Men, to the very top of his hair, it looks like he's about 6.5 inches tall. And then here he is compared to the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Gambit, the Marvel Legends Nightcrawler, the Mezco 112 Logan, and the Mafex comic version Deadpool. And then here he is compared to the Mezco 112 Vigilante Suit Daredevil, the Netflix Punisher, the Clown Prince of Crime Joker, and the Silver Knight Batman. And then here he is compared to the Storm Collectible Smoke, the SH Figure Arts Sage Mode Naruto, the Mafex Justice League Batman, and the Figma Black Swordsman Guts. And then here he is compared to the SH Figure Arts Awakened Warrior Super Saiyan Goku, and the Mezco 112 Deadpool. Anyway, there's some quick comparisons. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. So now for the articulation, and we pretty much get the basic type of Mezco articulation with the Cyclops. My only issue is with the neck articulation because of how the lighted feature was done on this figure. You really do not get too much movement out of the neck, which I'm not too happy about. But we do get just the ball peg at the upper neck. The lower neck you cannot move at all, so you can only get Cyclops to look up about that much, which is pretty disappointing. Doesn't really look down at all. He just looks straight ahead. Barely any pivot there, and then of course the swivel is fine. So that's the only head or neck articulation you're going to get with the figure, and personally for me, not too happy about it. Then we do get a torso joint and a waist joint here, so the torso just goes forward and back a tiny bit, as you can see there. You do get, alright, pivot, not the best though, and then it does swivel up there as well. The waist here goes forward and back a tiny bit, so with both joints he only crunches forward that much, and both joints goes back about that much. Really no pivot at the waist, but you do get a little bit of swivel there. Seems like you get better swivel at the torso. Then for the arms here at the shoulders, we don't have any type of joint at the shoulders, but the arms do go out to the sides a lot more than 90 degrees, so that is definitely awesome. They do go up and down. We do have the true bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, thank God. They pretty much bend in all the way. Then we do get the ball hinge on the wrist, so it does swivel and hinges back and forth. Now for the legs here, Cyclops can kick forward 90 degrees, which is definitely good. Doesn't really go to the back at all. And let's see if he can Jean-Claude Van Damme it. And I'm just going to do it with one leg so I don't damage the cloth goods here. And he almost can Van Damme it. They almost go out 90 degrees. They're just shy of it. Then we do get the nice hip swivel there. We do have double jointed knees that bend back all the way, so that is awesome. And does it swivel at the boots? Not really, but it does swivel at the ankles. Hinges up pretty well at the ankles. Same with hinging down. And then the ankle pivot isn't the best for Mezco, but definitely better than no ankle pivot. It's weird because like the Punisher has better ankle pivot than that, the Netflix one, but overall, this Cyclops, or Scott Summers, has the basic Mezco articulation. I wish the ankle joints, the pivot was a little bit better, and the neck articulation is just so bad on this figure. You really can't do too much with the head/neck articulation. So to me, that's pretty disappointing. But besides that, you will be able to get him in some okay Scott Summers-like poses, and I'm about to show you some of them right about now. But anyway, that is my review of the Mezco 112 Collective Cyclops. Hope you enjoyed it. If I had to rate this figure with detail, I'd give it an even 9. Articulation, I'd give it a 7.5. Accessories, I'd give it a perfect 10. And the overall quality, I would give it an even 9. If you would like to know the price and where to buy this figure, I did get mine from Agelessgeeks, so you can head over to their website at agelessgeeks.com. If you can't find something on there, I do highly recommend going through their Instagram or Facebook page. I will put more information in the description below. And if you would like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification bell. And if you liked it, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, oh well, I guess you didn't like it. But thanks for watching. I will see you later. And it does have the window displaying the figure and all of the accessories and the sides of the actual boxes. 112 Collective on the back, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. And then we do get the window displaying all the figures. What? Nightcrawler, the Mezco 112, blah 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 blah. Damn it. The Mezco 112. Ooh, that's not the Silver Knight Batman. With the fingers clenched a little bit, then we do get a right karate, chippity chop chop, karate. Karate, what the heck? Daredevil, the Netflix Punisher, the Clown Prince of Crime Joker, and the damn motorcycles driving by being loud.